Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome live from the sunny state of California and Long Beach. We are here for the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by SRP. I am Austin. I'm joined by Charles Boschel. We got Samuli Kumo. Nice on the work move there. Samuli in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV, and it is the streets of Long Beach. I've been waiting all week for this. Charles, how are you feeling about this week?
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. This is the track that I love driving, especially in open wheel cars. But with a 58 car grid, this has the makings for probably the most chaotic race we've ever raced.
It can be chaotic, but it can also be very opportunistic for a driver that we've not seen for a while, or not really seen at the top of the step. Take a very opportunistic win here. It could be one of the cleanest races or one of the most devastating races that we have ever seen. It's Long Beach. You always got to be aware at a street circuit, but there are so many things that can happen here. I've been running this race throughout this entire week, running in the practice sessions with a few of the drivers, and I got to say that this track is gnarly in how it races. A lot of things can go right and a lot of things can go wrong just out of nowhere. There are bumps here and there, and these Formula cars will it's not gonna be a comfortable ride throughout this entire time.
No, absolutely not. There's just no room for error. I mean, it just takes one missed braking point, one missed apex. The next thing you know is race done. You may be taking people with you as you go, because as you see as we go through the fountain there, you have to be inch perfect. I mean, you have to be almost one with the track and one with your car. So yeah, I'm hoping it's a great race, but it's going to be extremely cautious at the beginning. I know you'll go over that, but there's going to be some really quick cars out here, and yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we've got a brand new podium this week based on how these cars race here.
And as we exit Sunrise Way, Sunrise, what up? And just like that. We have 2 cars into the tire barriers, and speaking of the tire barriers, we do have a on-track reporter, Tire Stack Terry. So we're gonna go and say hello to Terry. Hello, everybody. This is Tire Stack Terry up here at the Turn 1 Tire Stacks. We're ready for any incidents happening, but luckily here at Turn 1, they're not going to be racing into Turn 1. It's just going to be from Turn 7, and then they're going to be racing on, but I'm expecting a little bit of chaos over here. Back to the booth with y'all. Thanks, Terry. I'm pretty sure he's just been sacked.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Terry said, yeah. So when we start this race, it'll be the standard start, and but yeah, we're gonna roll out nice and easy till we get over to Seaside, the back stretch, and then we'll start racing from there. But then obviously that means you got 58 cars trying to navigate the hairpin lap 1. I'm just going to guess and say not everybody's going to make it.
Yeah, that is a very good guess. I've seen a few times where everyone's made it through there, but those races have not gone very well after it. I'm so glad iGPFun has this rule where there's not active overtaking into there, and it's going to be more of a rolling start here this week than
it's kind of a standing start, but we're not really jumping off and trying to make it down into turn 1. We're just kind of rolling out and staying in line, and then once we get some a little bit of heat in the tires and a little bit of distance between us, then we'll start racing. So I think it's a good call.
Yeah, I think it's a good call, and big thank you to Luca Verani and the 222 machine, who sets all this up and helps runs this series, as well as the other mods of this series as well, especially Andy Flint and Adam Talsma, who provide so much to the iGPFun Formula 3 series. And also thank you to simracingpro.com for sponsoring this series and helps all of this stuff going on. There is Adam Talsma of iRace at Talsma, irace.talsma.ca, who has some of the I would say one of the best telemetry systems, not telemetry, race results systems up there for the iGPFun Formula 3 League. Get results going all the way back of the early days of iGPFun, and also results of every driver throughout their career. And one of those drivers that got a brand new spanking W is Gianfranco Pagotto, who in his first race after oh my gosh.
Wow.
What just happened?
I'm not really sure.
I just saw a car explode.
Oh.
Samuli, can we get a replay of what that was? Or
did he hit the inside wall?
I don't think he hit anything. We're gonna go back to the time here. Was there a car parked right there? Slow motion. Just there's a slow car and Well, we did it. We didn't need to see the collision, but we saw what happened. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to wake up right before the race.
Well, our blood's pumping. I'm pretty sure some other drivers are pumping even more. It's Gianfranco Pagotto. He won last week. He's going to try to make it 2 wins in a row here in his second race of the iGPFun Formula 3 2023 season of... Gianfranco Pagotto starting up on pole, followed by Michael M. Coffrey, Tony Jimenez, Kevin Webster, Jasper Sandstrom, Lee Aberdeen, Max Bartolota, Andy Flint, followed by Kenzie Nywoff, Nicholas Westman, and Christian Glamster, Sebastian Gravlund in 12th place. Behind them is Will McIntyre, Jones, Victor Barris, Julio Palacio, and Samuel Hermer, Chuck Morrow, Evan Way, Lucas Marut, Clark Williams, Pedro Soares, Luca Verani, Robert Ridgway, and Simon Fessy in 24th, followed by Erwin Stewart Cons, Marcus Puticus, Ryan Barry, Shaq Williams, Edward Onmas, Benjamin Gilchrist, Daniel Merchant, Simon Gabriel, Marcelo Kessler, Botafanko, Rito Schettini, and Kuji Aito in 36th place. They're followed by Richard Van Veen, Case Isaac, Matt Brewer, Marquez Otlofs, and Zolta Zomotor, Stu Millen, Jose Arroyo, Matthew Gracie, Dorian Arroyo, Ben Goyet, Nick Cardy, and Juan Hernandez. And behind them, they're followed by Nick Cardy, Reed Dennis, Arturo Megora, John McKenzie, Adam Tasman, James M. Carter, Paulo Lobrami, Giovanni Salento, Alistair Hay, Mario Pesky, and Simon Pankri at the end of our 58-car grid as we get out of the world's fastest blimp and onto track.
Easy for you to say.
I would say that, but I'm going a little bit crazy right now. But as we are standing on here, this car line is going on for at least a mile as we go green, green, green here at iGPFun Formula 3 Series. As everybody will take you to that rolling start, rolling pretty well. And Pagodo leads out. M. Coffrey already have a few drivers going side by side, heading into turn 1. As everybody just going to be taking it a little bit easy heading into turn 1, hopefully. But I already know some drivers will be getting a better start than the others. Jesper Sandstrom already jumping up one spot as we tackle through the fountain section on our first lap. And I think there's, oh my gosh, look at this, side by side through there. And that is a lot of trust to have in a lot of the drivers, but you get that trust here. Oh no, Luke is in the wall.
Oh, no.
Verani is in the wall. Oh, that is unfortunate for Luca. So easy to do. You bump that inside wall, just take a little bit too much mustard in there. But now we go green, green, green at the front. They pass onto Sunrise Way. And it's Pagodo leading out Coffrey, Jimenez, Sancho, Zwestra, Aberdeen, Bartolota, Flint, Nywolf, and Westman, your top 10. Pagodo heading onto that front straightaway into that hairpin. So easy to just put a little bit too much mustard on that hairpin and cause a massive pileup right there. I've been there, I've done that, and I've been on the receiving end of one of those pileups. They're not fun, but this is the start of our race here. One lap down at Long Beach, and now it's time to go racing.
Yeah, here we go. Now we start seeing who's got what.
Woo!
As we there's the first wreck in one. Oh no.
There's 3 and there's 4, and we're gonna have to get Terry onto the crane right now because there's a lot of action, and there's a big stack up into the fountain as Will McTarr Jones got up right in there, but Max Bartolota is headed into the pits immediately. Samuel Hermer is up one spot. He's getting a little bit of a bump from behind from Chuck Morrow as he's under pressure by Samuel Hermer as well. He's putting pressure on Samuel Hermer. And Lucas Maruk. Who's that? Wade.
Lucas Maruk, yeah. I think he hit the inside wall coming through the corner there.
Oh, and an update on what happened to Luca Verani. His index went black. Yeah, his VR headset died on him.
Oh.
This is the most unfortunate thing. And look at this! Accordion.
Yeah.
Throw the safety car. Throw the safety car. Throw it. Throw it. Oh my!
Stop. See, now you've got people pushing.
Oh my gosh!
Just need a little patience here.
Where's Where's Yakety Sax?
There we go. There we go.
Safety car's out.
Yeah.
Come on, get the safety car out. We need this. Everyone, just slowly, okay, calmly, and calmly, give and take. Oh, there's even more.
No.
Can we get the cameras away from this? I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah, I mean, but you see it in every discipline that comes to this track, is you're going to have that, almost every race. Not just the F3s, because that's such a tight corner. You have to get the entry right. If you don't get the entry right, you hit the wall, you hit that tire barrier on the outside, and there's just no place for anybody else to go. You're just basically blocking the entire track.
I'm going to say one thing. Somebody after this race is going to break out Yakety Sax and just clip that entire part. But the best part is, like we were saying in his car park, it literally was a car park because that part of the track is exiting the car park.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, hey, it's the right spot for it to happen. unfortunately, it happened, and we didn't want that to happen. But, whew, I'm actually surprised the iRacing safety car did not come out. I managed to get the iRacing safety car to get out on track in an AI race the other day. I might have been the cause of why it came out. I'm not going to say what exactly happened, but it might have involved me putting Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the wall at Long Beach.
Well, I mean, it's not like he's never been in the wall before.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't driving a Formula 3 car at the time.
Probably.
Yeah, but road courses do have automatic yellows. They do also have to be blocked completely and have cars not moving for about, I would say, roughly 30 seconds, which we were almost there to see.
We were close.
We were very close to seeing a automatic yellow if that setting was enabled. I don't believe it is in this series, but I will have to check.
But what it's done is it's put a big gap between P19 and P20, and you've already got the leaders starting to come up on lap traffic.
Yeah, that gap is massive, and the lap traffic is already massive. The cars that have been into the pits right now is Gravlund, Way, Bartolota, Williams, Dennis, Policio, and Verani. We have 3 cars not take the start: Aito, Pest, and Pankri. As Lee Aberdeen is now into the pits, but we're riding on board of our leader, Gianfranco Pagotto, as they are entering turn 7, chasing down the car in 49th place. That's Edward Amos ahead of him.
Yeah, you got the front of the pack and the back of the pack. So we've almost got the Bristol train going here on a road course.
Yeah, as we got the dancing dots of doom in our top right of the screen. This track map is really just showing, hey, where the leader is compared to everybody else. Don't look at it too long. You might go dizzy.
Yeah, for sure. So he's got, this is Pagotto. He's got a couple of cars in front, but then he's got a little clean track once he gets through those. So hopefully we can safely navigate lap traffic here.
Entering turn 1. That inside corner at turn 1, I was driving around with Luca Verani throughout the week. It's very cool to see in the practice sessions when you hop into the Formula 3 series on iRacing. You'll see most of the iGPFun guys either in the race or just in practice session testing out their setups throughout the week. And I see Luca, we hopped into our own session and started talking with each other. He was apparently getting slowdowns heading into turn 1. That's how tight he was taking it.
Yeah, ooh, that was very close to the inside wall.
Yeah, he was almost scratching paint with it. You definitely do not want the Long Beach stripe on the car, especially in any Formula car, because it's not going to be a stripe. It's more going to be a scuff mark and then embedded on your wheel. As that is a rough spot to be in for Gianfranco Pagotto behind the 70. As that 70 needs to get out of the way. He's just staying onto the outside of the track. Pagotto going down to the inside. Look who's behind him. Coffrey in there as well. Michael Coffrey of Way Italy Racing Team wants to join that illustrious winning club as well behind Pagotto.
Well, to follow up on something you said earlier, Aberdeen did come in the pits. Looked like he's got fast repair. He's back out on the track.
Yes, there is a fast repair in this series, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be multiple drivers with multiple pit stops.
He won't be the only one using that, I'm sure.
Yes. Ooh, that is tight for Tony Jimenez. Right behind him, Kevin Swemstra right on that gearbox. He'll reach out and hold on to that rear wing at that point. Swemstra looking down that inside line, not thinking about it. Also behind him was the 92 of one of the MRP cars, but that is actually the 92 is a lap down. That's Evan Way behind them, and he's keeping good pace with them, and I think he's going to just be taking a, somebody just slapped that inside wall, that outside wall, heading onto Sunrise.
Yeah, this is going to be, those walls are going to get their money's worth today, because it's going to be fast and furious, but I think the front of this pack has done a really good job. Now, obviously, they're running a really quick pace. I mean, they're running, Pagotto's fast now with 1392. So he's hauling the mail, and once again, he doesn't really have much choice. He's got Coffrey right behind him, and Sandstrom is trying to make a charge as well. So you have to be cautious, but you have to be aggressive. So I can't tell you how many times I've hit that outside wall right there coming to the foul.
And that slowdown, I would need to clarify, is for entering turn 1 too wide. The pit lane exit is on the outside, and if you use that pit lane exit to enter turn 1, you will be getting a slowdown because that is still part of the pit lane.
That is a no-no for sure.
Yeah, that is a big no-no, and that explains why I've never got the slowdown for jumping turn 1. I was like, where's the slowdown at? How are you hitting it?
Yeah, I think the converse of that is if you come out of the pits and you cross that line, I think it's a black flag.
That's a black flag, yes.
Yeah.
I've gotten that one multiple times. That's a big slide for Pagodo to ride on board of Coffrey, and he's stuck behind a Lat's car right now. We got a good nose-to-tail fight for the lead behind the Lat's car ahead of him. So they go down to the inside, down into our front straightaway on this lovely beachside avenue as we head into turn 1. Watch out for that pit exit line right over. Oh, that is tight for Coffrey. He got one wheel over that blue line. He's gonna have to be careful. But I think if you you can get a little bit greedy with that slowdown penalty and use it, and just know if you have lap traffic ahead of him, I think he's you could think a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Advantage of that situation.
Yeah, I think so. I think
because you're gonna be giving that time back waiting for traffic ahead of you.
Yeah, especially through the fountain section. If you've got a slow car in front, yeah, you'll definitely burn off any kind of slowdown that you're going to get by taking a wider entry into turn 1.
Yeah, even though it's going to be non beneficial in the long run. As that was not beneficial for Jesper Sandstrom. Have a slow car on the apex of the inside of turn 8. Inside of turn 8. You can pass up onto the inside, but those curbs have been banned by Luca because you don't want any Formula 3 cars to turn into a pogo stick and jump into traffic. As Tony Jimenez, I would say, put a little bit too much mustard on that hairpin, and it's dropped down to Kevin Zwemstra, who takes up 4th place.
Yeah, still seeing some little walk-ups and check-ups in the hairpin, as you still got big fights going on all over the track for position.
Yeah, big fights all over the place, and it is so easy to get caught up in a fight, and then the leaders sneak up behind you, and then it's just, oh boy.
Whoa! Slow car on the inside there. Sideways is up to 52 car.
There's a little bit of contact with the wall I heard up ahead. Nicholas West, a big look onto the inside, side by side, and a little bit of a wheel tap between each other. But they exit out. Andy Flint and Nicholas Westman's wheel to wheel with each other right now as they enter back onto Seaside Way, side by side into the parking lot of turns 9 and 10.
Yeah, that's a very tight corner, and you have to be, like I said, this whole track is. You have to be precise, and you see 2 wide, 3 going through the hairpin. That doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, it's certainly not working right there, but it is working for a few of these drivers. But for most of them, they're just like praying that everything just works for their way. And you have to be so observant on this track because it can just go, it can go from positive to extremely negative very soon.
Yes, absolutely. It just takes, like I said, one misstep. You bounce it off the wall. If, like you were saying earlier, the tires and the wall, if they ever meet, the tire's going to lose. So you may end up 3-wheeling it around for a couple of corners until you can either safely tow, if you're lucky enough to get back to the pits. But you just, these open wheel cars and concrete don't go together.
This is Matt Brewer. Matt's got to watch out. He's at the exit of the hairpin, and he's in the most precarious spot. He actually takes a smart opportunity and tows and doesn't become the Austin Powers meme. That's for me to do.
Yeah, smart move to just tow, and there's no sense trying to fight because it's going to be difficult if you get out of shape, like we see right there. Most of the places on this track, if you're out of shape and offline, or backwards, the chance of you finding a gap to where you can get the car safely turned around and back and ride it back in the proper direction is going to be slim.
Very low. Very low.
Yeah.
It's about as low as winning the lottery, as that is the bumps taking a hold of Simon Gabriel, but they were saving it. The back of that car fishtailing around. They were able to save it, but those tires are not being saved right now. And that's why those bumps are banned. You don't want to hit that curb because that's what will happen to your car. Low downforce being used on board of Simon's car, not using the full downforce effect, running the medium wings, as this is Lee Aberdeen looking around the outside at turn 1. It's close to the tire stack right there. Might have to give Terry a call.
Terry almost got up close and personal with these cars.
No, he's been up close and personal with everything this week.
Oh, there's his tire
Oh,
barrier.
and there is Simon Gabriel meeting the tire stack and out of this race because that back left wheel is broken.
Yes, it is.
And this is those tire stacks coming into play right there. And he's already sliding on the entry. That boom. He's aiming for the wall off that edge. That's just a little bit more track that you can use. And unfortunately, the racing drivers, we see that thing and we're just like, I'm going for that. I'm going to hit it. And we have that thing called commitment. Pedro Soares on the inside was looking on Lucas Maruk, but he's got Shaq Williams in there as well. I think he's just getting out of the way to sort himself in the braking zone in case he missed it or the other guy went a little bit earlier than he was expecting. So that's a smart thing to do in the braking zone. I know a few drivers that like to get out of the way, and speaking of get out of the way, 2 Lads cars are getting out of the way on the, oh, no. Lucas Maruk and McIntyre Jones collided with each other. 2 teammates collide. The Digital Apex cars.
Yeah, it's just, that was, it
Accordion
wasn't
effect.
Yeah, it was the accordion effect. It wasn't really caused by
He's
the
broken
lap
something
traffic,
too.
but the lap traffic just kind of split, and so there was one on each side, and then the guys tried to go in the middle, not recognizing braking points from other cars, and next thing you know, he's in the wall.
Yeah, that was a rough hit right there. And the Digital Apex team, they've been having a good season so far, but that is definitely going to be hurting their point structures. No drop weeks this season because we took 2 weeks off of our 12-week planned season for the holidays. And so every race counts this season, and Lucas Maruk and Will McIntyre Jones of Digital Apex, they are going to be feeling that one for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they enter back onto West Shoreline Drive, where the track is a lot emptier than it was 1 lap ago as they enter onto South Pine Avenue.
Yeah, I think they're starting to spread out a bit, and so you're seeing small battles as we see more lap traffic.
No, that was not Maruk. That was, there's Maruk. That is, oh my gosh, is that? It's one of the GTU cars.
104.
Yeah, 104. That is Alistair Hay.
Yep. So yeah, he's P47, so lap down. So just trying to get out of the way and
Big lockup in front of Williams.
yeah, there's just no place to get out of the way in the hairpin, unfortunately.
There is one way, but it is really out of the way.
Yeah.
It also involves you visiting a tire stack.
Yes.
Something that's happened to Tony Jimenez. Let's go look at what's happened right here.
Ooh.
Pretty wide eddy.
Saved it off the wall. That was nice.
And saved it off the wall. Parker factor equals yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kept on going. That front right might need an apology after this race.
Yeah, came in way hot. Looked like he maybe turned in a little earlier than he maybe locked the tires up, but managed to gather it up and not hit the wall, so he's able to keep racing.
Yeah, able to keep on racing and able to race another lap. This race, 40 laps planned. I look at that number and I think to myself, maybe 40 was a little bit too much for a few of these drivers, but this race is going to be a race of attrition. I can guarantee you right there. The amount of cars that I've been into the pits is pretty low, but I think it might get very higher very soon. I would say the first 16 laps is when the car feels good. We're entering danger zone right now.
Yeah. The more, and we've talked about it before, the more you lock the tires up, the less grip you're going to have going for the remainder of the race. And we've seen halfway to a little over halfway, these cars start getting really slippery and hard to hold on to, which is not good when you're in the tight track like this.
Yeah, 18 laps was the official race distance, and here at iGPFun, we decided to up the ante.
Absolutely.
And I've seen
Twice the fun.
Yeah, it's twice the fun, and twice the weight of the cars, I would say, but not twice the weight of the cars. Twice the fuel tank size, as I remember I had to adjust my setup to adapt for this race length practice, and the car handles a lot differently if you are not used to it. With all these drivers out on track, they know what is up. Stu Millen is off at turn 1, but he is looking for that gap and then rejoining the track right there. Just losing a little bit of spots, but hey, did not have a little bit of damage right there. So the Flaps VRT driver is back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just nice. Just when you recognize that you've got that there's going to be a problem going into a corner, but it's those corners that have some good runoff. Turn 1, take the escape road, reset yourself, find a good gap to jump back in the race and keep racing.
Yeah, street circuits and escape roads go hand in hand, and they are so useful.
Yeah,
Unless it's
absolutely.
Macau, because you don't really have that there.
Right.
And I don't think Macau was on the teased list. It was teased.
Teased.
Of tracks coming to iRacing, but the list of tracks coming to iRacing, as shared by the president of iRacing himself on the iRacing forums, it's very, very exciting for a lot of these drivers to enjoy a good Formula race. I'm excited for Portimao coming, as I expected these Formula 3 cars to be a lot of fun right there. Look at Simon Gravlund behind Stu Millen. He's got a lot of damage on the front left of his car. That wing took a big chop, and I'm pretty sure that is from that parking lot.
Yeah, I think so. And going back to your to the leaked list, or the teased list, I was very excited to see the updated Zandvoort as well on that list. That they've
Scanned
got the
last week,
rescan.
apparently.
Yeah, apparently so. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Jerez?
Jerez. I've obviously never driven Jerez.
I've driven it in the MotoGP. That is Gravlund in the wall. I've driven it in the MotoGP game, and it's really a really fun track. And I also know that there was a little bit of testing done there as well, as Gravlund's car is bouncing around a lot. I'm pretty sure he picked up a little bit more damage, a little bit of lockup, a flick spin being done in the hairpin by Stu Millen, and Gravlund is right on his tail, but that car is a drag monster right now. That front wing looks more of a, it looks like a Dorito chip, and it's giving it a lot of drag. Not sure it's going to help him in the corners, though.
I don't think so either. I think it's just going to slow him down. Probably give him some understeer based on the way I'm looking at that. But yeah, he's rubbed the Hancocks off the left side there, so he's got to be very careful for the remainder of the race. Of course, and we're not having a pit, so if you go in, you're going to lose positions. But maybe it's worth it if you can get in and get the quick repair.
Oh, you can hear those Hankook tires just screaming for help throughout that corner on board of Stu Millen. I'm pretty sure Gravlund also is wearing these tires down. We're about halfway into this race, and this is where these tires are going to be taken to the test between a lot of these drivers. And I'm going to be honest, when I was doing my laps here practicing with the guys, my main thing was just concerning myself about tire life. If you look after these tires, they're going to pay you back in the long run. And so I'm expecting a few of these drivers who have been just sitting back to slowly move up the field and start putting down some very good lap times if they continue to look after these tires. And one of the ways I was doing that, which also explains why I'm so slow, I was going through this hairpin in second gear. I was avoiding any first gear things, but apparently that's what most of these drivers are doing as well, except in qualifying.
Yeah, it makes sense. Is you keep the revs low, you can use the torque of the engine and prevent yourself hopefully from spinning out. And
Now later in the race, I was still spinning out of second gear, but that just shows how much practice I still need.
Well, it just shows how much tire usage you've also got during this race. If you ran a full 40 lapper practice stint, then this goes to show you what we can expect later on during this. So I saw
that was lap 20.
Yeah. Okay. Way too much mustard for you in the practice sessions. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It also shows why I belong in the booth and not doing anything else.
Yeah, I'm not the fastest guy out there either, but it's still fun. And like I said, I really enjoy driving this track, especially in the open wheel cars. F3 car is just absolutely a ball to drive. I really enjoy it.
I enjoy this car. I also enjoy the F4 car. I'm just a fan of open wheelers in general. And the F4 and F3 car, they're a lot of fun. They got good downforce, but they're also a little bit twitchy when you want them to be. The F4 car is just car save central, honestly.
And that's kind of the fun of it, right?
I know, and I kind of wanted to approach Luca and just be like, "Hey, on Saturdays, can we have a iGPFun-F4 season?"
Yeah.
It's not just like because it'll be a lot more fun and feed your series to iGPFun, but also it's the only car I'm good at.
Because I'm going to say this, one of my guilty pleasures is the Delara IR.
That is that U.S. open wheel car.
No, this is the iRacing spec open wheel car that they invented.
To replicate that open wheel series in America. I can't put my finger on it, but it's based in a northern state.
Yeah.
I've driven it for a while. It is really fun. I love how it moves on the tires.
Yeah.
And speaking of moving on the tires, also teased on that massive post. The tire is getting a little bit of a update, as well as that is a little bit of a gaggle behind Chuck in 10th place.
Yeah, I think so. I think they brought in that tease. They brought out several really interesting little tidbits about how they picked up some developers from a studio that no longer is in existence. And obviously, I think their work with Mercedes when they brought in the W12 and the W13 has really gave them some insight on the tire process and how the tires are built, and how to digitally present tire wear and tire temps and things like that in the city. So
I'm excited for my favorite tease of that thing was rubber on a film of water. I don't know what they're teasing right there, but it sounds really cool.
I think they've been teasing that for quite a while.
Yes,
but I do like the fact that
it's
they're
getting
being
close.
patient. They're being patient. They want to make sure it's right, and I think that's the important thing.
As big slide by Lee Aberdeen.
999 just dirt tracking it around through here.
Also being updated.
Yep, exactly right.
If you've read that document, point out something that you thought was really nice in that document. I'm pretty sure we covered most of it with the tracks coming onto the service, as well as the tires and the updated physics, as this is Potapenko under pressure by one of the MRP cars, Peter Van Veen. Looking down the inside of the inside, he pretty much needs to pull off a Doc Hudson move right on the wall. Right there, he's gone a very wide entry into the hairpin, but he is putting a lot of pressure on Potapenko ahead of him.
Yeah, Potapenko just took the real defensive line down the C-side, made him try to force him out to the outside of the track. And really, not much you can do in that corner. I mean, if he stuck the nose in on the outside, it might have had an advantage if they flipped back over to the inside, but chances are, just as likely as they just wreck each other.
There's a lot of dirt off the exit of the fountain. I think somebody went a little bit of flower shopping throughout earlier on in the race.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. I mean, just, you know.
Having launched my
we
car
didn't see
through
it.
the fountain, it's possible.
Yeah, well, I did see a couple of cars picking flowers during practice, so it wouldn't surprise me
That's
if
where it's
somebody's
from.
found it. Yeah, it's possible.
Somebody's just parked on Seaside Way. They're off the track right now. Look at that Lucas Baruch! Woo-hoo! Heading into the aquarium section. That car is looking loose right there. I'm pretty sure that car has just been sliding throughout these corners, and it's graded away those tires to make it work for him.
Yeah,
Doing
Doing a
the
great
old Fernando Alonso strategy from back in 2006, where he oversteered the car to grind away the grooves of the tires to make them slicks.
in case Isaac coming into the pits.
I believe that's to fix damage, maybe up the fuel, and probably replace tires. You made it this far. You should probably reward yourself with a bit of new tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that may play. He may actually gain some spots out of that. As we see the 33 around Van Veen.
That's a broken car. The back of that car does not look attached. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, yeah, the back right. Yeah,
Yep,
good
there you
spin.
go. Very smart.
Run.
Just get out of the way.
Just run.
Yep.
Oh. And that's a souvenir for Tire Stack Terry.
That's right.
Oh, there's another car parked. Oh, no.
And that's just something
That's where it came from. Because
So
it
he
looks like
probably-
it looks like he banged it, but he was okay.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
Yeah, it was a glancing blow off the tire stack, which probably did some damage to it, but obviously the tires are softer than concrete. But then, then we had a car that was sideways that attempted to rejoin at the wrong time, unfortunately.
In the most unopportune place.
Yeah.
We're seeing the track polish here go to work right now. You can see all the tire marks heading into South Pine Avenue. Really, really, really detailed track right now. And I'm pretty sure these lines are going to get darker and darker as we ride on board an EC Sideway underneath that beautiful convention center.
Yeah,
Bridge.
as we're sitting here watching the people, Pagoda has now put out a 4-second lead on Coffey in P1, P2. And Coffey's extended his gap a little bit over Sanford. So the front of the field stretching out a bit.
And the way he's doing that is just pick and choosing on when to overtake these lap cars and looking after those tires.
Absolutely.
Not pressuring himself, not pressuring any of the cars. He's not fighting with them a lot, as that is a masterful move right there. He took a much tighter entry, much wider entry, and then beautiful switchback. No drama whatsoever. And that car just rotated around that hairpin.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. And just shows you, you get some guys that obviously he's a pretty high rated guy. So he's smart. Yeah. So he understands the car and the track, and he's not, like you said, he's not really putting pressure on these guys. The guys are moving over when they can to get out of his way, let him pass, and so it's just good driving by everybody.
This is Michael Coffrey behind Poto Penko, lap traffic ahead of him. And they go on to Pine Avenue, going to get a little bit of draft from the Vermin car ahead of him as they go down to the inside. As he is now trying to chase down Pagoda ahead of him and continue his race and search for Pagoda. But right now, with the fight between Pagoda and Copper, it's going to be a fight of tire wear and car control, and just making sure that you get around all the traffic before even thinking of catching up to them, because lap times are great, but tire life is even greater, especially when you got 12 more laps left in this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and they are doing obviously a good job because they got 20 on the lead lap. So great job by the guys up front, being smart and just being patient and still being able to run to generate really good pace, obviously, to get through the field as we see another lap car moving out of the way.
very
24.
opportunistic spot to pull over by Potapenko, as Sandstrom did not sacrifice a little bit of speed at all as they exited out of Aquarium Way onto West Shoreline Drive at turn 4. That little side road of South Chestnut is such a tight corner, and it's easy to just hit that inside wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many times have you hit it this week?
Several. Well, not just this week. How many times have I hit it in general? I think I've put every car that I've driven into track against that one, both inside and outside. So,
Good stat.
yeah.
I've been there about 7.
Oh, so tight into that hairpin.
That inside hairpin wall, 12.
Yeah, just 12.
Every corner it goes up, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn 1, way too many.
Way too.
At least 50. Lucas Marute chasing down Christian Glamsetter. They're in a good fight. Chuck Morrow still leading him out. 9th, 10th, and 11th, the fight for 9th place. 3 cars involved in that one, and they are in a good fight. Another good fight going on. Robert Ridgway stuck behind Stu Mill in the 69 of Edward Amos on the outside. They both get ahead of them. Amos still there on that inside line. Robert Ridgway taking a much wider line, trying to get the speed off the exit. Really mistimed that braking zone, though, and he's going to be on the back foot right now. But Stu Millen leading out almost in that fight for 29th.
Yeah, still some good battles on track. There's still some, people fighting for positions, and you just almost kind of feel like, as the 69 sends it way to the inside, it's just a good pass. It's a very good pass. Late break, managed to make the corner. You just can't tell sometimes if people are just kind of waiting for somebody to make a mistake in front to capitalize on it, or if they're trying to be aggressive. And it looks like Milne was actually trying to be aggressive and get that spot. And then he's going to try and get away.
That's wide by Millen.
Yeah.
I think that was a lockup by one of these 3 cars. As Amos is ahead of Stu now. Now the next target for them is Arroyo ahead of him. And Maruka, oh no! Christian Glamsetter's in the wall. And that is a tire off at the tire stack. And tire stack Terry is going to be occupied.
Yep.
Getting that car out.
You see Glamster coming up behind the 257.
Oh, just too much mustard.
Yeah, that's all that was.
He's actually done a smart thing and reversed into the escape route before towing, just in case anybody else is approaching that corner. So that was a smart recovery as, Lee Aberdeen takes a visit into the escape route.
Yeah. You're surprised a lot more people don't do that, and they just end up in a tire barrier. But it's like he's, let's see. Is he coming
this
in
is
with too
a
much?
sand.
Yeah, way too much.
Oh, he goes into the secondary part, does a little bit of a flick spin, and continues on his way. We are reading that 999s, putting out a little smoke show for everybody out there by Bubba's. You ever had a Bubba Burger?
I have had a Bubba Burger. They're not. They're good. We'll say they're good. Since they're a sponsor, we'll say they're good.
Yeah, they're good. All right.
Yeah.
They're not a Whataburger.
Yeah.
Sandstrom put in the new fastest lap of the race last time by, though. 1:13.42 is smoking fast right now, and he's on the back of Coffrey.
Yeah, that was 0.3 faster than the previous fast lap. So he's on a mission now. He's smelling P2.
Well, it's less than 10 laps to go. This is the time to lock and load. Coffrey lets him by. He knows he's fast. And 5.7 seconds. Sandstrom versus Pagoda right now. Pagoda versus Sandstrom. 2/10 last lap separates them. Now 5 seconds with 8 laps to go. Just going to have to hope Pagoda gets caught up in some traffic or something happens to him if he wants to go for this lead. But he's definitely charging along the way up into second place.
Yeah, for sure. He's got work to do. 8 laps left and 5-second gap is going to be tough. Unless something happens to Pagoda, gets some lap traffic, has a half spin or something. But very smart by Coffrey, just let him go. He knew he was faster. He said, I'm here for the points, so we'll let him go, and we'll take a P3 out of this.
Yeah, speaking of points, we have had a few drivers that have a lot of overtakes. Ben Goyette and John McKenzie just swapped spots to add another spot to John McKenzie. Both of them in the 20s of overtakes, but only one driver is in the 30s, and that's Adam Talsma in 22nd.
Yeah, that's serious. That's half the field that you've passed on track. Ooh.
Up. And that's Juan Hernandez around. And this is in the parking lot, and he's going to have to... This is where F3, this is in front of 7th place. It's now going through that corner, and he's got a little room to work with, so he's going to have to go...
I think he's got steering damage. I think that's what's making him struggle a little bit.
Oh, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. He got through it.
I just was looking at it. Maybe it was just the angle. It looked like he had... at least one of the wheels were bent.
Yeah, he's kept going straight. He's missed a pit entry.
Yep.
The car's not looking damaged at all. It just looks like it was a spin.
Okay.
Because I don't see any
I don't see
wheel
anything.
damage.
Just like I said, I think it might have just been the angle that
Yeah.
he had. So
I would say the rule of thumb is if you get a wheel damage thing on this track, don't try to drive it home.
right, yeah, just tell it.
Still,
So
Ridgeway and Stu going side by side. Ridgeway on the inside, Stu Millen on the outside. Robert versus Stu enter the corner side by side. Robert taking a much tighter line just to accommodate the space for Stu Millen. Able to be in 30th and defend that spot. He's gone to the pit lane recently. Robert Ridgeway. Actually, he went on to the pits at lap 15, and I believe he might have put on new tires.
Well, that will help for sure.
7 spots down from where he started.
So,
Yeah.
you know, after 15 laps, the rest of these cars are up as we see.
Oh, that's Matthew Gracie out of the race.
Yep.
And who was that he tangled with? Not sure who that was.
Yeah,
Edward
I didn't
Almost
see
side
it.
by side 37. Dorian Arroyo, go close to the wall of one of the MRP cars.
Yeah, that car's way off.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Parking lot, part 2, Electric Boogaloo in the hairpin. It's Matt Brewer. He's got steering damage. I think it was Matt that he might have got entangled with.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
As this is Stu and Dorian still side by side. Stu sending it into turn 1. Dorian just getting off the brakes early, like, you go for it. I'm not going to fight you through there.
Yeah. It's like I'm 5 laps from the finish. I'm in a good spot. I'm just going to hang out.
I haven't got into the pits. Go. Pagoda.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The
Hard
gap to the leaders.
lap. 118. And look at that gap now. 1.5 seconds with 5 laps to go. Sandstrom is chasing him down. And Pagoda, I think, was caught in that little hairpin incident right there. So Gianfranco Pagoda needs to get his eyes straight, or else he will be under pressure by Jesper Sandstrom and Coffrey, who hasn't left Sandstrom's rear wing, by the way. He is still right there, and he gets traffic, and oh, more contact. Sandstrom getting a bump from behind as I think he was being pushed by Coffrey through the hairpin. Two seconds now, that gap to the lead. A little bit of traffic being affected by both of the drivers' cars exiting the pit lane. They're just allowing them to pass through instead of getting in their way. Kevin Zwebstra sitting in 4th. He's under pressure by Kenzie right behind him. As
It looks like Pagoda's starting to stretch that gap out again. Seems like he got caught up in that hairpin incident and has managed to. It looks like he's trying to push it out a little bit further.
I think it's 4 seconds. I think there might have been more than one incident.
It's very possible.
This is Pagoda entering turn 9 into that parking lot. And onto Shoreline Drive they go. Getting behind traffic once again. And a little bit of wiggle off the exit, but there's Sandstrom. No traffic at all. 1.7 seconds now. Entering lap 37 for Pagoda. Last lap 114.1. Last lap for Sandstrom 113.8. That gap's fallen. He's got to be very smart on how he takes it, but looking at the back end of that car, it's wiggling around. Pagoda under pressure, and that car is looking loose.
Yeah,
This is Kenzie. He saw the opportunity into the trap on Kevin, but Kevin fights it back.
Nicely done. That was a deep, deep dive into turn 1 by Zwimstra and just managed to hang on to it.
That Kenzie, though, in that Racing Forces machine, looking for 4th place on Kevin Zwimstra, bouncing through the bumps here as they go onto West Shoreline Drive and into Pine Avenue. Big slide by Zwimstra, putting more tire marks onto the track. And a track representing more of a Formula Drift event than a racing track. The amount of rubber on the circuit.
Yeah, it's rubbered in quite well now. So now you get the cars on tires that are probably screaming. Just not much left. They've left all the rubber on the course. There's a little
Lock up
there.
by Kenzie. By
so,
Kevin.
Yep.
This is hard. It's Kenzie versus Kevin. Both Dutch. The 062 versus the 51 is Alcatech NHR versus Racing Forces, Hydro Race Racing Forces. So they go into turn 1 once again, not side by side this time, so a lot easier this time than last. And speaking of last laps, Pagoda, he's bringing the fight back to Sandstrom, 2/10 faster, and into the wall. Kenzie, just a little bit of kiss to the outside.
Yeah, it was a little light tap. Wasn't anything major. Didn't look like anything damage.
Speaking of damage, do you see it? The front left of Kevin Zwimstra's car. Damage.
Ooh, yeah, it is. Yeah, a little wing damage on the front of that car.
He's going to be under pressure now. I'm not sure where he picked that up. Just kind of appeared on the car. Did he also hit the wall?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Honestly, if I could take a dartboard, I'm horrible at darts. Close my eyes. Oh,
stock up in the hairpin.
No. Jack Williams in the wrong place, wrong time. Kevin Zwimstra was caught in the jungle gym of cars right there. Falls to Kenzie in 4th place. And now that is a lot of damage on that car. Got some airtime too, but unfortunate for Kevin Zwimstra in that hairpin. There are 3 cars turned around right there, and the hairpin strikes again.
Yeah, you just hate to see it, and that's part of the racing at this circuit.
Well, we got Tire Stack Terry, and I think we need to bring on Hairpin Harold right there, as you can see right there. He's avoiding one, and unfortunately ramps off the front left of that car, and I think that did damage his left side even more.
Yeah, I think it did. And, you saw the car backing up. It was just really trying to get off the racing line, but, in that spot, there's really no to get out of there other than just towing the car, unfortunately.
We're looking at our YouTube chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in the YouTube chat throughout the season. If you're a viewer or you just decided that you want your sanity and didn't want to take a part in this race as we go white flag for Gianfranco Pagoda. It's nice to see you. Jerome Landley also hops into the chat to say hello, and also just said that we'll be seeing him next season in the iGPFun Formula 3 series, and it's always good to see familiar faces returning to the series after a little small break. So it's great to see you back out there on track, Jerome, and hope you have a good run next season. Hopefully not into me. I don't like being crashed into.
To get the gap down to about almost
1 second on the last lap. Here comes Sandstrom. Pagodo, last opportunity into the parking lot. 1 second separates them. He's a few corners away, but it's also in the most tricky corner. 1 quarter to go for Pagodo. One last visit to the hairpin, and he makes it through there, and I'm pretty sure he can breathe a sigh of relief as taking his 2nd win in a row. Gianfranco Pagodo wins here at Long Beach with Sandstrom right behind and Coffrey close behind as well. Very close race between our top 3. Wasn't a side-by-side battle, but it was very close. Kenzie Naiwa in 4th place, and there is Kevin Swenstra under pressure by Nicholas Westman. He can thank the stars of this race is over as he takes a top 5. Nicholas Westman in 6th place. Jumped up 4 spots after starting in 10th. They're followed by Tony Jimenez and Andy Flint. Benjamin Gilchrist ahead of Will McIntyre Jones right behind him after that contact with his teammate. McIntyre Jones closing in on Gilchrist. Not close enough to make a move unless there's a lockout like there just was with that number 44. Gilchrist under pressure, but is there just enough track to have enough? I think there is not enough track for Will McIntyre Jones. Gilchrist in 12th. I think this is Benjamin Gilchrist. Gilchrist is one of his first race right there. That's a top 20. That's something to be proud of for Benjamin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This was a really good race. Obviously,
and actually, Benjamin, I won the 2500 class here today. So congrats, Benjamin, on that win.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Gianfranco. Oh, wait. No, he's celebrating.
Yeah. It's time to make the donuts, I believe.
The only time he's missed turn 1 is the time where he's on his in lap. Gianfranco Pagoda's going to pull it in onto East Shoreline Drive and park it up on that lovely podium they have on the entrance of the pit lane. It's a very awkward pit entry, though. It's all awkward. What's the word? Podium entry here, though it's not accessible by the pit lane standard. But it's accessible right there. They just open up a little part of the wall. You just drive it in. You park it up on stilts.
There you go.
But he's gonna park it in victory lane in that number 1 spot. Started first. Ended first. It's not a grand slam as Jesper Sandstrom put in the fastest lap, but it was a dominating performance right there for Gianfranco Pagodo. As he takes the win ahead of Jesper Sandstrom, followed by Michael Coffrey, Kenzie Naiwa in 4th, and Kevin Swenstra, followed by Nicholas Westman, Tony Jimenez, Andy Flint, Chuck Morrow, Lucas Baruch, Pedro Suarez, Benjamin Gilchrist, and Will McIntyre Jones are followed by Erwin Simacons, Marquez Budakes, Lee Aberdeen, and Ryan Berry. They're followed by Daniel Merchant in 18th. They're followed by Marcelo Kessler, Potapenko, Zoltan Zomotor, our biggest mover, Adam Talsma with 30 overtakes and 22nd, followed by Jose Arroyo, John McKenzie, Ben Goyette, Christian Glamstetter, Stu Millador, and Arroyo. Behind them, followed by Case Isaac, Shaq Williams, James Carter, Arturo Mayorga, Marquez Otelovs, Juan Hernandez, Matthew Gracie, Richard Van V, Paulo Brame, Reno Scattini, and Robert Ridgway, followed by Matt Brewer, Edward Almos, and Sebastian Gravlund, Victor Barris, Nick Cardy, Alistair Hay, Clark Williams, Giovanni Soleto, and Simon Gabriel right behind him. They're followed by Edmund Way, Samuel Hermer, Simon Fessy, Matt Bartolota, Julio Policio, Reed Dennis, Luca Ferrani, Cucciato, Mario Pesk, and Simone Pankri at the end of our 58-car grid. Wow. What a race it has been. It was a rough one up front, but up and down the field, I'm pretty sure some drivers have had positive experiences, but a lot of them have going to be taking a massive sigh of relief that this race is over. They're going to be focusing on next week, which is going to be at Route Skodegan.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep, interesting race. I'm looking forward for Route Skodegan. It's one of my favorite tracks on iRacing. New track on iRacing, free track on iRacing as well. So we're going to go from a street circuit to a wide open, a wild ride over there at Skogan Motor Center for next week. I'm looking forward to that. I hope everyone else is looking forward to that as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's iGPFun as always. It's fun here. Thank you to Sim Racing Pro for presenting the iGPFun Formula 3 series here from Long Beach on Apex Racing TV. I've been joined by Charles Michelle with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.